This is Wilbur, and we're playing Mechabellum. Hey, this is Wilbur back with one more banger before the next patch comes in. We got a game up against Zillilag that went 12 rounds. It was right down to the wire, both of us sub 1000 HP on the last round. But to begin with, I took the Aero Specialist with Stormcaller and Fang, and Zillilag took Stormcaller and Arclight. Zillilag is a 2300 MMR player who did really well in the 1.0 release tournament, taking down some of the best players in the game over the course of that tournament. I don't think he was the winner, but I don't remember. Yeah, Puche was the winner. But it's my first time playing against him. I've kind of just started to push into the top 50 here and there, so I'll be playing against more of these players that have been around or are more well-known more often. But this is the first time I bumped into Zillilag on the ladder. So this first round, you can see we both started with sort of an asymmetric Stormcaller like setup. I've been kind of enjoying playing Stormcallers more asymmetric. It lets you be more flexible in what you want to do. You can sort of play standard, sort of play aggro out of it. So I really prefer the aggro style of gameplay, so that's why I like to deploy like this. So this round we're going to get the Fire Badger, and my opponent grabs the Phoenix. So let's slow down here a bit. I level my Wasps right away, and I noticed round one that Zillilag had already leveled this tower on the right to level 2. So this tower really is my only option for a tower snipe for a few rounds. That'll make an impact. Sometimes this tower just takes too long to destroy when it's level 2. So I actually use my Wasp to just do damage to the units here. Usually I'm always mobile beaconing Wasps into towers, but here I thought the best thing I could do was just use them for damage. So Zillilag grabs a second Phoenix here and deploys a Fang over here. He initially was thinking about putting it over here, but moved it. I decided to put these Fire Badgers on the left to protect this Stormcaller. This is actually going to be kind of comedic after a few more rounds. There's a kind of a neat thing that happens. I grab a Crawler to have it spread on that tower. If you deploy a Crawler behind a tower, it will spread out. I also go for a flank on the top left with Crawlers. I was thinking of using a Wasp up there, but the Crawlers will do. So this round was a pretty decisive win for me. I had a lot more chaff on the board that the Phoenixes aren't good at destroying, and the Arclights went down too fast for them to clear the chaff. So this round we get a Rhino Assault. Both of us, I believe, take this. There was a lot of good options, like Efficient Tech Research is fantastic this early, but we both opt for the Rhino drop since we are, I think Zillilag recognized that I'm playing more of an aggressive style, and sometimes getting those econ cards is bad into aggro. Like, you need to defend with all of your money as much as possible. So this is going to be an interesting little thing that I don't know if all players know, but you can actually goomba stomp, that's what I like to call it, with the Rhino drop or Vulcan drop. So when that unit comes down, it does its base health damage to the unit and also takes that damage. So right now our Fire Badgers have 10,368 HP, and a Rhino has more than that. So you'll see that these Fire Badgers actually die immediately this round. So this is a fun, seldom used mechanic in Mechabellum that does have really good use cases occasionally. So we'll watch this Fire Badger die here. Just misses the one. I deploy my Rhino up in the back to help my Crawler flank. I also had a kind of cheese crawler on the corner that I deployed over here and added Impact Drill. If you remember from a couple videos ago, I did a very similar move where I used Impact Drill to get a level 2 tower. So once again, that proving useful here and getting a nice round 3 win over Zillilag. So once again, we get another Rhino drop. There's nothing I can do about this. I actually go for the underground threat. But once again, Zillilag's going to do the exact same thing, and this really slows the tempo down for me. I think this round I really needed these badgers to destroy some chaff, and they weren't there once again. I deployed the underground threat in the back right because I thought I was going to get underground threated this round, perhaps. And now this round, I do take my wasp over to the right to get in onto this tower with that crawler pack that I had deployed over here before. But Zillilag has added 2 arc lights now to this side to protect the tower, and 1 up here on the top left to protect his flank. Zillilag is playing cost control, which I think is one of the weaker starting specialists. I don't think I mentioned that at the beginning. It reduces the attack and defense of your units and gives you 100 additional resources per game, so it's pretty hard on your units' stats. I grabbed some Mustangs. I didn't know what else to do this round. Mustangs are always pretty good. And my opponent did have, you know, a substantial amount of fangs down. So I grabbed the Mustangs. I think maybe I should have went arc lights here. As you can see, the crawlers just aren't dying fast enough. We do clear out this side with the wasps, but there just isn't enough left on my board for this cluster of wasps to take care of business. There's enough phoenixes left that these wasps are going to go down and get stuck on this level 3 tower. Zillilag really investing in a tower's early game here to stop the kind of aggressive playstyle, slow it down enough that he can win on board before the towers affect the board too much. So this round we get a decent chunk of cards. I think I grabbed the Farseer here. Sabertooth, there just wasn't enough like decent medium units down for me to like click it. There was no sledgehammers, there wasn't any tarantulas. The best targets were the arc lights, like maybe that big Sabertooth right here might have did some good work, but there are phoenixes as well. Now there's 3 of them. I had 1 Farseer up to this top left flank, and then 1 kind of in the center here. And I'm looking to transition into Fortress. I think fortresses are going to be pretty good here. I can get anti-air fortresses to take care of these phoenixes. So I do grab those fortresses this round and start putting them down. I think I might go Fort Mustang at this point. Pretty good comp. It's just expensive is the problem. Getting it off the ground is the hardest part about playing fortresses. So you can see, because of this, Zillilag is going to creep back into this game. Fortresses just are hard to get going. So to save this crawler from dying right away, I back it off with the mobile beacon. So it can become kind of late chaff. Hopefully these fortresses can do enough damage this round, but there's just so many single target damage units. My Zillilag grabbed those high level marksmen, and with these phoenixes, the fortresses just don't stand a chance yet. They don't have any levels. There is no anti-air tech on them. I had to buy 2 fortresses this round without purchasing the tech because we're only around 5 here, so money is kind of tight. So here we see the orbital javelin. This was a tough round again for me. I just was thinking, I think if I get amp core and I put it on one of these fortresses, that fortress will be safe. You can see that they do get just over 70,000 HP with the level 1 health upgrade. So if he did take Javelin down to 70k, this fort would not die if it was targeted. But he did go for another Rhino drop. So this is the 3rd Rhino drop that Zillilag got this game. So here comes the anti-air fortresses. Grabbed it this round. Starting to spread out my fortresses a little bit. We have this kind of main central cluster of 3, and then we have the amp core fortress on the left. I add a crawler here to protect the Farseer a little bit from this Phoenix. Grab the rapid resupply and the mass recruit this round, as did Zillilag. We're both really trying to keep the tempo up, but it's going to make our economy suffer. Sometimes if you start doing the rapid resupply too early, it really can get you behind in the later games. But I think both of us end up doing it quite a bit this game, so our economies aren't going to be completely out of whack from one another. But you can see that the Scorpions were the answer to the fortresses with the range enhancement right away. So once again, I do take quite a bit of damage this round. I don't know if the Rhino did too much but it did take our tower again. So now we get redeployment, heavy armor, and incendiary bomb. Incendiary bomb is almost a must click. It is so strong if it lands. So not clicking that can sometimes lose you a game just because your opponent's lands and yours doesn't. So here, I think I click on the barrier this round. Yeah, it's kind of the duh click because I'm trying to block as much of the incendiary bomb as I can. I drop a rhino, my rhino drop up on the top left to try to protect my Farseer again. It's up on the flank, and I also pull my crawlers back here to help destroy this rhino deployment. Now I'm starting to level my towers because I'm worried about all this weak side that I have over here. Mustangs did get leveled. They're doing okay. They're not contributing a ton of damage right now. Once we get some levels on them, they'll start to shine a little bit more. So you can see we get our impact drill crawler to come down and help with this rhino so that it doesn't take our tower this time. Our big fortress with the amp core is starting to break through. So our tower survives. Yeah, there's some storm crawlers left. And our big fort is onto the tower, taking it out. But that incendiary bomb takes out our left-sided stormcallers, so it's actually a pretty close round. This marksman lives with like a sliver of health. The fortress almost falls to it. Now we just have this low health arc light to deal with, and then round will go to round 8. Bye bye arc light. There he goes. In round 8, we get a unit drop. This one I had to think about for a while. I was thinking about doing some boat pushes. I do not do it and end up taking the Phantom Ray. Phantom Rays are pretty good in my opponent's board. There is a lot of medium units, and if we get the shield tech, it'll survive longer against the likes of the Phoenix and the Marksman. You can see Zillilag sold out of one set of Phoenixes over here already. Actually, 2 sets of Phoenixes are gone. There's only 1 left. And Zillilag also went for the Phantom Ray. I had the Phantom Ray up to this deployment to try to pressure these Scorpions more. I add my underground threat right under this Fang Pack to distract these Scorpions. And Zillilag adds the Phantom Ray to the bottom right corner as a flank, looking to get that tower. I'm also adding EMP to my Stormcrawlers to shut down the double shot and range on these Scorpions. Grabbing another Farce. Oh, no, this Farseer is already there. So you can see the Rhino drop coming down once again. A missile at this time. Our Phantom Rays are doing really good work up here, but we're going to have 2 sets of level 3 Phantom Rays hitting our level 2 tower, and it goes down. Just kind of ending the hopes we had for this round. We have a big level 3 fortress now, but it is really low HP and is going to fall to these units despite the tower debuff. So incoming, we have 4 Phantom Rays left, but there's just too many single target units left on board, and all of our shields are almost down. So we end up losing this one, taking us down below 1000 HP to 688. So this round we get a big spell card. The Lightning Storm is really hard to ignore, so both of us end up clicking it. I had to think a minute about clicking mass-produced fortresses, but I know if I don't click the Lightning Storm and my opponent does, I'm probably going to lose the game this round. So I end up taking the Lightning Storm. Zillilag puts it down across the 3 fort cluster I have, and I put it, I think I repositioned it a little bit here, but Zillilag adding range to everything. We have ranged arc lights with EMP, ranged Scorpions, ranged Marksmen. Now I add EMP to the Farseer to help shut down some of the techs over here. Hopefully I can get a quick EMP onto this high-level Scorpion. Adding a Farseer over here to help deal with these flanking Phantom Rays, and a Crawler to help distract us for a few shots. I do a rapid resupply to grab that last level and add a missile once again. So even though the Phoenixes are gone, we do have the Phantom Ray now that is on the board with armor enhancement. So we are still getting some help off that anti-air barrage. So our missile coming down, slowing down these Phantom Rays, buying us a little bit of time. Our tower is still level 2, so it is going to go down. Our big fortress, once again, is going to die. Oh, it did survive, actually. So I think this round's going to go to us, but just barely. Our fortress lived long enough to take out all the ground units. And then we have these Phantom Rays that are taking the tower. And we're going to clean up those couple level 3 Phantom Rays left on Zillilag's board. Still got a long way to go. Zillilag nice and healthy at 2,000 HP. So here we have a couple interesting cards. I think I can grab improved firepower as well. The 200 cost of super heavy armor is just a little too much for me to stomach. So I grab the improved power system. Zillilag is adding the energy shield to his Phantom Rays as well now, so we have a double tech on those Phantom Rays. So the EMP becoming more valuable on the Farseer. This round I look to get a quick tower with a double fortress push over here, adding the improved firepower system to one of them. My opponent, Zillilag, is doing the goomba stomp over here with his Rhino deployment again. Thinking that he might goomba stomp this Farseer, I opt to do a quick little mobile beacon out of the way, just in case that would come down, because this Farseer would die to a Rhino drop. I do add range to our Mustangs. 30k damage done last round by this guy, so starting to ramp up, becoming more helpful as the game goes on. So we can see I did add another Mustang pack on this side too to help break in, but now that there's armor and shields on these Phantom Rays, they aren't doing too much. Zillilag did add acid to Scorpions this round, so things aren't looking good for Wilbur's fortresses this round. But we do have one hero Farseer left and some Mustangs. We have also the Farseer that was helping with the flank on the bottom right, in a great position, just pounding away on these high-level Phantom Rays. You can see he's going to take a couple of them out here, enough to save us from losing this game. Takes out a couple more here with the high-level tower, now level 3, buying enough time for him to snipe a few of these Phantom Rays. So, big save by that Farseer. If I didn't take out all those Phantom Rays, I would have died this round. So this round, our opponent gets an Orbital Javelin. I take it as well. I know that that Javelin's going to come down here. It's going to be pretty devastating here. We're going to lose both of our fortresses. I opt to target the cluster of units here, killing this Arclight and these two Scorpions. Knowing that I need to deal with these Phantom Rays, I start to add some more Farseers to the board. I also clicked on the Photon Emission to protect my fortresses from the acid. Zillilag throwing down a carpet of Incendiary Bomb here to destroy the chaff and hope to pop this tower. He's also adding I'm Goomba stomping his Phantom Rays with my Rhino deployment now. So we're with lots of uses of that Rhino deployment as damage instead of as a unit. Adding another fortress here. Now have Rocket Punch to get some more damage out of my fortresses. Zillilag also adding his Rhino down here as well. So we can see the Rhino taking out one of those Phantom Rays right away and then popping the shields. But because we lost our chaff, our Farseer does go down. But with the new and improved golden fortresses, we are able to push through all of these Scorpions and have a pretty decisive round. The Farseer is helping to shut off those shields, and then the anti-air fortresses can actually do some damage. But it takes the Farseer to be up for these Phantom Rays to go down, shutting off those techs. Armor gets shut off, so the Mustangs start to do damage. But you can see how hard these level 3 and 4 Phantom Rays are to kill. So we take Zillilag down below 1,000 for round 12. Can we slay the dragon? We get a gigantic Rhino this round, level 9. Zillilag grabs the Vulcan though. I think this was a mistake in my opinion. If Zillilag made a mistake this game, I think the Rhino is just too big to ignore. I grabbed the giant Rhino. I mean, we're talking, 200,000 HP Rhino, 150,000 HP Vulcan. Rhinos move fast as well. So this round there's lots to think about. I immediately add Whirlwind to the big guy to give him a chance to get in there and really destroy some units. Now we got 1950 resources. So many resources left. Underground threat comes up. I add it in front of these level 1 fortresses to help them punch through on this side. I'm selling out of this flank. There's just too much stuff up here for those high level Phantom Rays to be useful. I grab a level 2 fortress and a level 2 Farseer, adding them to the board. I needed one up here to provide the photon emission to these fortresses. With that, let's zoom out and enjoy the last round, slowing it down a little bit. So you can see our big Rhino still up, taking out some units, while this Vulcan is stuck on the corner that Zillilag got. He French fried some chaff, but the golden fortresses are just too much to deal with. We start to see them overwhelm the board. Scorpions are getting EMP'd by Stormcallers and by the Farseers. The Phantom Rays are just not holding up to the EMP, plus the anti-air barrage. And the only thing that's going to be left on the board is this lonely Vulcan after all is said and done. We got our hero Farseer that saved the game for us here, plunking away at the remaining units on the top right. And our Stormcallers are going to clean up this with a couple of rocket punches from our level 5 fort that was holding it down for so long. Zillilag taking 2.5k HP damage, or 3k HP damage that last round from all the forts. So you can see this. I usually don't get to play late game boards. I'm much better at the rounds like 1 through 6, 7. I think late game, a lot of times I get lost in all the possibilities that can happen. I think it's easier for me to navigate those early game boards. So this was a fun game. A little nervous playing against a high level player, but I definitely can handle him. I think Zillilag picked a cost control specialist. I think that was maybe that's his playstyle. Maybe prefers that specialist, but I find it to be on the weak side right now. And I think this was a mistake. The high-level Vulcan, I don't think is as good as this just gigantic Rhino with so much HP and photon coating to boot. So this thing is just scary. Bought a lot of time for these fortresses to do damage and killing some units himself. What did he end up with? 56. He killed 17 units. Our big fort last round did 127,000 with in total 139 kills. But I think the MVP of this match was this Farseer, taking care of his flank multiple times and then saving that game on round 11 from, or maybe it was 10. I don't remember, but congratulations, Farseer. You're going to go down in Farseer history. Good job. So I know I said this was probably going to be the last video, two videos in a row now, but I think this, the third time here, this is definitely the last game of 1.1 or whatever patch we're on before the new season begins. So it was a banger. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next patch. Bye for now.
This video is done, but you don't have to be. Click one of these Mechabellum videos and keep watching. We got more crawling.